This is Let's Talk Football here on the sportshacks.com. And we are joined, as always, by one of the hardest working journalists in the League of Ireland, a man who's known to every press box across the league, predominantly in Dublin, as we've said so many times before, and a man who knows his Shelburnes from his Bohemians, from his Shamrock Rovers. And with the third tier coming along, maybe someday soon he'll know his home farms as well, which I think, Carl, you're probably a bit young to remember home farm in the league, are you?
No, I remember the stories, all right. I remember the
Okay,
stories. I
home
know they're rich
farm.
history. Yeah.
Yeah, home farm Everton as they were at one stage, but that's the third tier, and that's a conversation we might have a couple of weeks time, maybe during the mid-season break, which isn't that far away from us now. We're going to look back at the weekend, Daryl. We're going to start with Drogheda United, who played twice over the weekend, lost against Bohemians on the Friday night, went to Waterford on the Monday night, winless Waterford, as we were calling them. We can now call them one-win Waterford, so we're not letting them away with it just yet. But Kevin Doherty, he was not a happy camper with the referee's decision. Neil Doyle judging that there was a foul and a penalty in the last minute, and Waterford scored. Or was their first win of the season.
Yeah, that's the official line. Neil Doyle called it a foul and a penalty, but it's a shocker. I really was. Like, I watched it back numerous times and can't see. I think maybe Neil was a bit quick to rushed into the decision. Maybe the game itself, with the tension throughout the 90 odd minutes, I don't know what was going through his head. But we've seen a couple of really bad ones now in the last couple of weeks that could have big ramifications. Going back to the Sligo one then against Shelbourne when the offside flag was raised, and we still don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty poor, and I can understand Kev's frustration. He said he got his red card because someone behind him said something, but I can fully understand him just going through the roof because it's a shocker, it really is.
And it rounded off a bad weekend for Drogheda, didn't it?
It did, yeah, it did. I was at the Balls game Friday and chatting to Kev afterwards. It was a very surreal atmosphere because the team lost. Balls dominated possession, but he felt his side had the better chances overall. So he was trying to sum it up after the game with us, and it was a bit didn't know whether to be upset or kind of like, well, yeah, you come to Dalymount, lose by the odd goal, that can happen. They dominated, but we had clear-cut chances done before half-time where Davis is through on goal, and he tries to pass it to the back post of Thomas Lewis, and then that completely changes the atmosphere then in Dalymount. Not sure what went through Thomas's head, but yeah, that's massive game-changing chance and momentum swinging chance. But yeah, he wasn't too bad after Friday. He was in there for a while afterwards, maybe letting off a bit of steam before he spoke to us. But yeah, Monday was terrible.
He he still has a head of hair,
Don't know how,
but he
honestly.
must be tearing it out at this stage. I mean, he said it was the worst decision he's ever seen by a referee. And to be fair, he said that Neil Doyle is a good referee. He said that he likes him. He's a good fella, but that this was just one step too far.
Yeah, I could completely understand. I don't know how he does it. Sometimes, to be honest with you, seems like maybe it's because it's Strata. They have that feeling that they're the smaller team underdog. Maybe decisions mightn't go their way, but something as obvious as that was just ridiculous at the end of the day.
And of course, we won't mention VAR, but there is no VAR in the league, so no opportunity to review it. In terms of
No.
Waterford, then we spoke the last time about Graham Coughlin coming in. You know, he has been through survival battles in England. Decent result against Derry, a draw in that match, win on Monday night. Are they starting to turn it around, and do they really have enough time?
I think they do. And the reason I think that is because I looked at the last 5 home games now, they're undefeated. So if you want to spin it that way, it was 4 draws and a win now. So if they're making Dorothy a fortress and hard to beat down there, it gives them a platform. And then obviously Mr. Coughlin's headmaster style seems to be getting into the players now because they worked tremendously hard in both games. So it gives them a platform now to maybe just think they could reel 1 or 2 teams back.
And
They were a bit late. We don't know.
And again, as we said previously on this program, obviously the transfer window is about to open again in the summer. you wouldn't think he took that job without knowing that he can strengthen the squad. When that maybe even loan players coming in from Fleetwood.
No, absolutely not. No, it's because he took it so quick as well. Made you think that promises were made, and with his little black book of players from the lower divisions that are well used to these types of scraps, I'm pretty sure he'll strengthen across the board.
Yeah, and he will know what's needed in the scrap, and he'll know who's up for the scrap as well. So
Absolutely.
he's already said to the Waterford squad publicly that if you're not up for this, don't bother coming back after the break, etc. Bit of drama at the top of the table as well. I watched the Rovers game up in Dundalk. Goalkeeper Enda Minogue was quite brilliant. Kieran Kilduff said afterwards that when the goal went in, I think he kicked the camera, and it turned out it was Enda's dad's camera. So he had to apologise to the Minogue family, but Enda definitely kept them in it because Rovers, they created enough chances to win more than one game.
They did, and to get a result against Rovers, you kind of need your keeper and defenders to have just an outstanding game, near perfect almost, to keep them out for the whole 90 minutes. The Gordon Banks-esque save, it was, I mean, that's a worldie in terms of from goalkeeper's point of view. But yeah, like the fact that they got a result, I know Rovers have struggled up there. I think 4 or 5 they haven't won up there now, 4 out of 5. But yeah, like it was just great from Dundalk's point of
So,
view as
so
well.
some of that was the old pitch. The old pitch didn't suit them, but I mean there
Yeah,
is a new pitch now, and they
yeah,
created more. There's no doubt they created the chances. But look, Dundalk
yeah,
won the game, and Kieran Kilduff, as he said, he was so happy he was kicking cameras. Never mind anything else. So they'll be happy for that. St. Patrick's Athletic, I mean, it was a chance to make up ground on Rovers with that result. They didn't take it. Shells are now winning matches again.
yeah. Again, it goes back to that crazy Shells away form we were speaking about last week. The best away record on the road. Um, I can see it was probably emotionally charged given the terrible news from Paddy Barrett's mother passing away,
Hmm.
and they had the tifo beforehand, and you could see the players were rallying together to try do something for their skipper, and you should just take a moment to say, look, we send our best to Paddy and his family at this time. Um, and Shell, that way form is just ridiculous. If they could turn that even half of that to home form, there's no doubt to be in the title race. And again, Pats, it's the same same frustration with Pats. They had a chance at the top of the league. They had a chance to extend. They didn't do it. Now they had a chance when results are kind of going their way for it, and again they don't do it. So it's hard to believe of them in the title race, if that makes sense. But yeah, they're there, and it's only one Friday, and the fact Rovers lost softens the blow a bit, definitely.
It does. It does. Before we talk about the weekend to come, and there's some big games this weekend, but and again we've spoken about this, and we said it was about time. But 4 League of Ireland players in Heimer Hallgrimsson squad for the games against Canada and Qatar. I know the squad isn't going to be the same for both games, but there's 4 names, and of course Victor from Shamrock Rovers. We're told is going to be in Jim Crawford's under 21 squad, so that
21.
is recognition, and that's a step up from him because he's only been up to under 19s up to now. But Ed McGinty, Conor Brand, the surprise one. I mean, a Cork City goalkeeper, we spoke about that. Adam Brennan and Dawson Devoy. I think in terms of the outfield players, Adam Brennan, as we've spoken about it here, he gives you something different. He's taken to the Premier Division by storm, intelligent footballer. And Dawson Devoy, I've said it to you, and I think I've said it to anybody who'll listen. He's better, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but he is better than the League of Ireland.
He is. We're blessed to have him here, and for so long as well. But I don't think there's any novelty. There was a bit of surprise. We're still waiting to hear on the Shamrock Rovers Bowls game whether that's
Hmm.
going to go ahead because of the call-ups, or are they going to split the call-ups between the Qatar game in and out of the international window. So just waiting for that to be clarified. But yeah, like Dawson, Adam Brennan, you have to see them at that level. You have to give them that chance, throw them in at the deep end, and see how they got on. The way Dawson and Adam play, there's no fear. They're just gonna go play their game. And Adam as well, like, athleticism in this day and age in modern football is paramount. So really excited to see how they get on, and hope they do get a good chance now. Go crack the whip.
And there is the opportunity. I mean, Jack Moylan took it. He went to Spain. played against Granada, got a hat-trick, first hat-trick since David Kelly at Dalymount Park all those years ago. 39 years ago, I was reminded, thankfully, by somebody who just wanted to point out how old I'm getting, but it was a long time ago. So first hat-trick on a debut since David Kelly, took his chance, showed what he can do. People are giving out that he's not in this squad. That wasn't the point with Jack Moylan. It was get them to Spain, have a look at them, then bring in new players and have a look at them this time. My own feeling is if these players are in the Ireland squad, call off the League of Ireland games.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be done. Like we mentioned before about taking the league serious. You know, it's any other league in the world would do the same. They'd be much more respected. So just give it a shout, give a call, and let the players fully focus on their international call up that they deserve. Because there's no point saying, "Oh, we'll play one game, leave you out of the other game," and then you're playing for your club and you're like, are you afraid to go for a tackle maybe, or you're questioning your decision, like, oh, I don't want to be injured for next week or things like that. So yeah, just make the call early, respect the league, and let the players fully focus on the
And
tremendous achievement.
again, I've seen, technically it's the last Dalymount Park game between Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians. At the home of Bohemians, Virgin Media are down to show it. Virgin Media will show that game no matter if it's played at 12 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. The crowd will turn up if it's played at 12 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Give Dawson Devoy, give Ed McGinty, give young Brennan the respect that they deserve, but show off our league.
Yeah, exactly. It's an ideal opportunity to big up the league. You see with Pico going to the World Cup's another great example. Like the league deserves more respect than it gets, I think. But it's kind of starting to see a wave of people going, "Oh yeah, these players play in the League of Ireland," and they start asking more questions, even like in the offices and things like that. So the interest is obviously growing. But yeah, the respect is another level. Like, it really needs to be
I,
treated as a professional league.
I spoke, as you'll see elsewhere on the site, I spoke to Pat Bourne, the Shamrock Rovers legend. 70 years of
Yeah,
age he was last Friday at the Benevolent Fund Golf Day, and they got a lovely cake for him. Harry McHugh made a lovely speech. But Pat Bourne was making the very good point, and he's one of the first people I've heard to say it, that the difference now between this League of Ireland and when he played and international football, it's a full-time league now. Dawson Devoy with Bohemians, the players with Shamrock Rovers, any other player in the league, they are training full time, the same as the professionals in England, Scotland, Holland, wherever we're getting our players from. So they're fitter than they were in his day. They're probably playing, and this is another interesting point he made, that these guys are playing more football than some of the players in the squad who aren't getting games in England. And so two very relevant points.
yeah, absolutely. And I think the league is benefiting from that, having all the full time teams now across the board. And yeah, like there's, yourself, match sharpness and fitness are two totally different things. You can go train, you can do your pre-season, you can train all week, but having that match sharpness by playing 90 minutes, playing the full 90 plus minutes, even when you're tired, the ball's coming to you, your mental sharpness has to be there as well. And if you're playing week in, week out for your team, it should be a no-brainer that you're given that chance ahead of players who are sitting on the bench and mightn't be as sharp.
And you're playing adult football, men's football, which is important. I mean, players coming into the league on loan from England are relishing that because it is men's football. It is proper competitive. You'll get kicked up in the air, you'll get kicked up the backside, whatever it may be. But
Yeah,
you're in with the
exactly.
big boys now, and you got to learn to adapt very quickly.
Exactly. Jack Moylan's the prime example of what they call like a late developer or whatever
Mm.
term they put on it. But yeah, like you can't put a price on that men's football, and you can see why teams in England are so eager to get lads across here to play men's full time football. It's just a no brainer. Like
Mm.
Jack is benefiting massively from it. He goes across, he takes like a duck to water because he's used to training full time. He's not going as a kid playing adult football and getting. We've seen like Danny Grant when he went across, he was suffering with injuries training like proper full time intense men's football, even though he only had a taste of it here.
Mm.
Is another example. So yeah, it's great breeding ground for players, and Brexit's helping in that way, I guess.
I saw a great. There was an interview with Chris Forrester on Off the Ball the other day, and he came out with a great line where he said that when he went to England, he struggled to settle. He'll tell you that himself. But when he went to England, his mother was still making his bed back at home for him, and it was such a big culture shock. And I just thought, it just, sometimes we send kids who are still kids, and no matter how much we think they're ready for it, we send them away. And Brexit has changed all that. There's no doubt about that. You've mentioned it already. Shamrock Rovers at home to Sligo on Friday night, which is going to be, I think, my game this weekend. But a lovely touch from the club. They're going to pay tribute to former members, to former supporters, to the Shamrock Rovers family before the game. They're incorporating it into the match program. They're going to have a little remembrance before the game kicks off, and then at half time they're going to wish Pico a bon voyage to the World Cup because he is heading off this weekend. So again, it shows this is a family. Football in this country is a family, and when we look at what's happening in England, we look at Southampton fans that aren't going to be able to go to Wembley now by the look of it on Saturday, etc., etc., etc. The richest game in football, or in English football anyway. But we have a family, and we shouldn't lose sight of that either. I'm lecturing a bit tonight, I'm afraid, Darryl.
No, absolutely not. You're bang on, and it's very important we keep that. You said about the professionalism and the league on full time. But yeah, it is just a community feel to it, and you do still have that access to players, and when you go to watch them in the grounds, you do feel part of it. And I always thought it was a bit weird, like watching teams on telly is compared to live football, like it's ridiculous at times. So it's a beautiful idea from Shamrock Rovers. Really, really classy, and Pico deserves every minute he gets, every media attention, every tweet, every social media post, or you name it. He deserves every second of it. So.
And again, to be transparent, as RT were given out about in the Dáil today or in the Oireachtas today, I will be fully transparent. I have been helping Pico with his media in the build up to the World Cup. And the interest, Darrell, has just been phenomenal. I mean, every continent he's done interviews or he's had requests for interviews. India, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Mexico, all across Europe. It's just incredible. And every time he does those interviews, he is selling the League of Ireland.
Yeah, exactly. And when he performs to the level he does, it shows that the league has something about it. There's the standard here as well. I don't think we're great at selling the league, and maybe that's an Irish thing, self-deprecating at times. But yeah, like it's the quality is here. And again, it's if you saw you have better facilities, maybe the product on the TV, as they like to call it, might help sell that abroad a bit more. But yeah, I'd say it's a full-time job on keeping on top of Pico's attention.
Well, we wish him a bon voyage, as they say. And
We
again,
do.
we had an interview with him on the site, which is still live. It's not live and dangerous to call Thin Lizzy, but again, you're too young to remember Thin Lizzy. They did play at Dalymount Park once, as the Bows jersey will point out to you. I've said this to you before as well. I'm sure Black Sabbath played at Dalymount Park, but I haven't seen the Black Sabbath Thin Lizzy jersey yet. So there's one for a certain
Keep
commercial manager called Daniel Lambert.
it in his
Anyhow,
back pocket, probably.
keep it in the back pocket. The black pocket in this instance. Black
Yeah.
Sabbath being the band. So I'm looking here just to round off or look ahead. Two things: Dundalk against Drogheda in United Park. This is the live TV game. Fireworks, literally, as we know, the last time. There's going to be fireworks on the pitch this time, but you would hope that we don't see them off it.
Yeah, we did. It's as much as you like that atmosphere in the stadiums, confine it to the stands basically. But on the pitch, I think Dundalk will be licking their lips because Kevin mentioned on Monday that he lost two centre halves throughout that game, and he lost Bulger then on Friday against Bowes at half time, which he kind of suggested it was a bit of a game changer. That's how Pat Hickey got his second goal, because Bulger was marking him through the first half and did a good job, but when he came off at half time and then Hickey scored a few minutes after half time, he kind of suggested that was down to that as well. So Dundalk will be licking their lips. I'm not sure what Kevin can get together in terms of defensive structure or bodies on the pitch, but yeah, it'll be an uphill battle, I think, for Drogheda this week.
Home games then for Galway at home to Bohemians, Derry at home to St. Pat's, and Shelburne at home to Waterford. Gambling wise, you would have to think that's a good treble. Homes, Shell's home to Waterford, Galway home to Bowes, and Derry at home to Pats.
Yeah, you would favour that. Personally, I think I'd call three draws. Gonna probably getting splinters here sitting on the fence. I know that, but Yeah, to break it down, Shell's home form, they have to eventually get a home win, just as Waterford got their win eventually by hook or by crook. You think that Shells will get that, but again, Waterford's firepower and the chances Shells can give up at home will be nervy again, with the fans hoping to get over the line. Balls at Galway, a Pahickey derby. It's again,
I like that. I like that. That's a good one.
it's and it's a cliche, you know. It's a tough place to go, Galway, but they'll be well up for that. Or the Chris Twardek derby, depending on which way you want to look at it. But again, maybe being away from Dalymount, Bows can let the shackles off a little bit more because they won't be under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But again, and then Pat's Derry. What, like, how do you?
Well,
You can't predict Derry City.
what's the pitch going to be like? What's
Well, that's
Derry's attitude going to be like? There are so many imponderables in this game.
exactly. They're so hit and miss. Derry. They have enough talent to beat anyone in the league. It's just what Derry City turns up. And Pats will know that maybe getting let off the hook a little bit on Friday with Shamrock Rovers losing, that this chance we have to put this right now, and we can really put Derry out of the title race if they even had a chance of thinking of being back in it. So it'll be a real chance for Pats to put a marker down and say, no, it's just the two horses again.
And
Which
the players across the country will know they're close now to their mid-season break. They're close to getting their feet up, probably only for a week. We're close to the World Cup. There's a lot to look forward to. But Darrell, as always, thank you for your time here on Let's Talk Football. We look forward to next week. And we see how that 3-draw treble works out for you.
that's it. Playing the two save at times. Thanks very much for having me.
Cheers, Darrell.
Thank you.